Hello, everyone, and welcome to we are here for another week mixed sports show presented by the BJ Show. Welcome aboard. Let's get it on. So, welcome all, and what's on the mixed sports show? So, we all with all the A-League results. With that, we'll have the Ninja A-League Women's Competition. So, that's for round 11 results and round 12 previews with the Isuzu UTE A-League Men's with the results and previews. Second from round 11 results and previews for round 12. We'll all have the latest of the BBL, the Big Bash League. We'll also share the Ashes series from the fifth test and the overall. That's what I mean between the Australians and England. We'll also come to the final sports, which is the National Basketball League for the men's and women's. So the women's is on WNBL and NBL, 26 seasons. So what a round of basketball we are going to share as well. So stay tuned for all the results and previews. Which rounds that? We'll share that very soon. Oh, yeah, and I will let you all know. Thank you for your support. Make sure you subscribe as well. So now and now, let's get straight into some cricket news. Welcome to the Cricket Show. So we do have the week 2 update and beyond. So what I'm going to do, you can see on your screen, simple as that. We are going to share match 14 to 25 out of 11 games, basically of the results and no previews because it's a bit complicated with the results. So we'll also share the ladder if I have possibility, have some time to do that. I'll do my best, but we'll go from there. So, but we'll let you know if I wasn't able to share that. So, yeah, here we go. So, right on your screen, simple as that. We're going to break down to about 2 games. So, 14 to 16, that's actually 3 games. So, on your screen, we have Melbourne Stars and Sydney Thunder. Final score for this game, Melbourne Stars 1 wicket for 132, and the Sydney Thunder was all out for 128. Well done to Melbourne Stars, dominating with the win by 9 wickets. Next game was match number 15 with Hobart Renegades take on Melbourne Renegades. Final score, Hobart Renegades were a total of 6 for 163 and Melbourne Renegades 9 for 162. Well done to Hobart Renegades winning by 4 wickets with 4 balls remaining. And match 16, Sydney Thunder and Perth Scorchers went head to head. And the final score is Sydney Thunder all out for 131. And Perth Scorchers a very comfortable win, winning by 71 runs. Well done for that. In the final, Perth scored is 8 for 202. Well done to Perth Scorchers with the win. Here is your next bunch of games. Okie dokie, match 17 to 20. Here we go. Match 17, where I went to this game and I could tell what an entertainment it was. New Year's Eve special, the LA Strikers dominating after those amazing losses that finally got the win. They took on Brisbane Heat. Well, Brisbane took on the bat and they were all out for 121, not their best batting performance. And the LA Strikers took a nice 7 wicket win, and LA Strikers scored a 3 for 125. So pretty confident with that win. And we go to a double header New Year's Day, match 18 and 19 for that matters. The first one is Melbourne Renegades and Sydney Sixers. Final scores: Melbourne Renegades 9 for 164, Sydney Sixers 4 for 168. Well done to Sydney Sixers with a 6-wicket win with 5 balls remaining. The second New Year's Day game, which is match number 19, as I mentioned, Hobart Renegades take on Perth Scorchers. Final score is Hobart taking a 9 for 189, and it was Perth Scorchers scoring another 200 and, if I do apologise, 220 for 3 wickets. So well done to, the Perth Scorchers taking another comfortable win over Hobart Renegades. All right, off to the next game. All right, now we share match 21 to 23. Here we go. So I do apologise for all the small handwriting. I hope you can see that on your screen as I get on. So you can testily download the app. It's a free app called BBL, and you can see all the results from the women's competition. And we are going to be going match number 21. So we'll share that right now on your screen there. So Sydney Thunder versus Hobart Renegades. Sydney Thunder 4 for 205, and Hobart Renegades, well done, they are 4 for 207. And Hobart Renegades taking a very nice 6-wicket win with 13 balls remaining. Match 22, we have Melbourne Stars and Melbourne Renegades go head-to-head in their derby. Final score for Melbourne Stars 9 for 173 to 6 177 Melbourne Renegades. Well done to Melbourne. Well done to Melbourne Renegades taking a 4-wicket win at the MCG, and with 1 ball remaining, it will go down to the wire. So well done to that. So there you go. We have match 23 with Perth Scorchers taking on LA Strikers. LA Strikers fortunate short to 120, and it was Perth Scorchers too good by 33 runs exactly, and it was 8 for 153. Well done, Perth Scorchers with the win. Okie dokie, match 24 to 26. And you can see that clearly on your screen. Sydney Sixers versus Brisbane Heat. Well done. Well, we can the final score, low scoring for a T20 game. Sydney Sixers 7 for 118. Brisbane Heat 9 for 114. And we had, well done to Sydney Sixers. 3 wickets with 3 balls, 9 balls remaining. Pretty comfortable win for the Sydney Sixers. All right, match 25, and we'll share that from there. Well done to, first up, well done to LA Strikers. Another game I went to with a mate, and this was a very comfortable, really a comfortable win. I think Dale Brave, really good tacking bowling from LA Strikers in the second innings. You can see the score of 8 for 165 for the LA Strikers, a pretty good effort. Sydney Thunder was 7 for 159. So there you have it. That's what we are up to right now for the update here on the BJ Show. Hope you enjoy much as I do, but we've got more cricket. Here we go. There you have it. Now, this is going to be a different one. Now, I didn't tell you all, but I'm going to be sharing some, who is going to be my player of the series and all that. Now, we do want to let you all know that I'm going to share that. And there you are. So, what a series it was. I'm going to share the final score So the final score, the test for the Ashes in Sydney at SCG. Who won the series? Obviously, if you pay attention around the world of that. Player of the series and player of the match may not a lot will may notice that part, but I am going to be sharing all of that right now. Okie dokie. So we will start off with the final test match at the SCG for the Ashes series between Australia and England. We'll share the player of the match. Well, there you have it. Well done to Mitch Starkey. Absolutely dominated from being the 2025-26 Ashes series. Well done to Travis Head for being the match player of the match. And this is my thoughts. So, yes, we'll share the innings right now, and then I'll deeply, but a few minutes about it. Not too much, but anyway. On your screen, you can see England start with the bat, score 384. So not the best start, but then Australia just absolute crush and dominated. So 5-6-7 all out. It's a mother domination for Australia. England came in, hit a mother 342, and Australia 5 for 161. So it proves to me and shows me, for example, and I'm going to really be my best to make it ever so smooth and silk. Well, they took on the series and a win of domination in the fourth test. We'll share that with Aiden, so stay tuned for all of that. But it was this is not the correct information I thought it was. So here we go. No, we're a little bit more confused than we are. No, here we go. So England came on with the bat, and on your screen, 384. I think this is a lesson learned from England. I think they've got a lot of work to do, and they know. Their culture wasn't, they need to come together with their community. Their community of fans come to Down Under to watch their team, their country, their proud country perform cricket, and I didn't see their best. They had their moments, England, and I have that respect. This is the Ashes series, and not the series you want. 4-1, it's the score. I 100% how it all went down. Joe Root was their best batsman. Harry Brook was with a domination. With Australia really took on a Travis Head magic moment 163 from 166. That is very well accuracy with the amazing of 166 balls. My apologise. I don't know how many on the boundary and all that. So, and 138 to Steve Smith. And, it's a pretty good effort. But, it is what it is. Then we change. Now, this player is a young kid playing for his country. I have very respect. But this changed everything in the world today of cricket and for England. So Ben Dockley, 42, but this is the man absolute dominated. First time ever in his career, a future batsman for England and a true cricketer. Jacob Belhel, congratulations on 154 from 265 in a test. The tag on the Australian bowlers like that proves that you are a good batsman. I have respect. You are third in order. That proves that England trusted you. So you will learn your craft. And congratulations, coming to Australia, a young kid, pretty impressive. I think that's England's best for the for this test. Not overall, just for this test for England, but yeah, that's just me. With Harry Brook and all that, dominating with the bat all summer. So with the Australian will share the batsmen very soon. Travis Head 29 for 35. Jake Weatherall 34 from 40. You know, ads and ads and ads, and then that was it. So the we start back on the first innings, and this is where it all started. Mitch Starkey 2 for 93, 4 for 60. Michael Nessa dominating in the summer since the Brisbane Tour or Test. 2 for 85 for Scott Borland, 1 for 85 Cameron Green, and no wickets for Tring. Bev Wester, none for 20, and then it was Travis Head, none for 20. So for England attack, we had Braden Cast, 3 for 130, none for 140 Matthew Potts, and not the best was Josh Tangled, 3 for 97, 2 for 95 Ben Stokes, 1 for 35 Will Jacks, and Jacob Bellhell 1 for 52. And that was the first innings. And then we come to the second innings. We're almost there. Thank you so much for your, everything you do. For 3 for 72, Mitch Starkey. 2 for 46, Scott Boolan. 1 for 54, Michael Nessa. None for 40, Cameron Green. 3 for 64, Bev West Star. And none for 25, Travis Head, and Mungers Lombard, none for 15, I would say. And the finish of the series, Josh Dingle with 3 for 42, none for 51, Braden Cass, none for 16 for the star Jacob Bathell, 1 for 42, Will Jacks, and Joe Root, none for 6 from 3 overs. So, sharing of the bowling attack, there is a lot of work for England, but Australia looked pretty good. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing, and I hope you enjoy it. All right. That is it for another episode of the Cricket Show. If you can, go and hit that like, and thanks for watching. Let's get on with the next sport. All right, let's drive into the Nunsha A-League Women's results. So, starting off with game number 1, Sydney Warriors take on Canberra United, 1-all draw. Well done for those two teams. Next one is Brisbane Roar and Wellington Phoenix, 2-all draw. Next one, we have Perth Glory and Newcastle Jets, 1-0. Well done to Perth Glory. LA United are talking a 1-0 lead over Central Coast Mariners FC. And the final game was the 5th game, Melbourne City and Sydney FC. Well done to Melbourne City over Sydney FC, 1-0. And the team had the week off is Melbourne Victory. Okay, now we come to the previews. Let's drive into it. Game 1 is Sydney FC and Adelaide United. I'm going with Adelaide United wins the win. Next game on game number 2, we're in Perth. They're taking Glory on to the Western U Sydney Warriors. Perth Glory with the win. We come to the next one, will be a draw between Wellington Phoenix and Melbourne City FC. Next game, we have Newcastle Jets and Central Coast Mariners. Newcastle Jets with the win. I think they'll take nicely there. Melbourne Victory taking off a bye. They tag on Brisbane Roar. After the victory, they'll take it and go with Melbourne Victory. And Canberra United has the week off. So you notice all these teams, but set Canberra United, they're all in the men's team. So you'll notice that as well. What do you think? Comments down below. Let's get on with the next sport, which is the men's A-League. We start with the A-League. Isuzu UTE Men's. That is up now. Results. Here we go. Now on your screen, we have Auckland FC and Newcastle Jets. Well done. Each got the draw, sharing the points. Well done there. 1-1 draw there. The next one is a 1-0 nilt. Western Sydney Warriors took on Farman Bulls. Well done to Farman Bulls with a 1-0 win over Western Sydney Warriors. Next one is a 3-2 victory to the Melbourne Victory, hosting Perth Glory. Next game, well done to the Wellington Phoenix on the road to Brisbane. We're taking a 3-0 win. Bad luck with Brisbane. Raw with that. Well done, Wellington Phoenix. Next game is Melbourne City FC take on Sydney FC. Well, that game came to a draw, and then the final game, LA United Central Coast Mariners. Well, the Central Coast Mariners absolutely put on a clinic with a 4-0 win over LA United. Here we go. Here is your previews for the Isuzu UTE A-League Men's. Okay, we're starting on with now previews. Game number 1, Brisbane Roar take on Auckland FC. That's the newest team in the men's competition, and I'm going with Auckland FC. Next game is Melbourne Victory, Sydney Warriors. And guess what? Melbourne Victory was the win. We have Farman Bulls and Sydney FC draw with the game there. Well, Perth Glory and Central Coast Mariners FC. I'm going with Perth Glory. That's in Perth. And Wellington Phoenix host the Adelaide United. I think Adelaide United will bounce back. And final game, Melbourne City, Newcastle Jets. I'm going with the draw with that game. What do you think? Comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's get into our final sport, which is more my time favourite one. If you know me well, you'll know it well. That's right. The basketball, the national basketball, and the WNBL, the Women's National Basketball League. Simple as I've been doing from the cricket from the BBL. I'm not doing previews for the BBL, but that's basically different. But everything else is the same. We'll also do the ladder. Now that's something we have not added on here on your screen, but that is coming your way. If I don't get the chance, I did that in my intro of the BBL, I do apologise of that ladder. We'll share that in the next episode. So just going to let you know with all the A-League updates and all that, I will share all the ladders and all that on the next episode. Okay, the WNBL results and previews all locked in. Here we go. Game number 1, Sydney Flames versus Southside Melbourne Flyers. Well done to left Melbourne Southside Melbourne Flyers taking a 113 to 94. We come to New Year's Eve. Traditional Townsville Fire take on Bendigo Spirit. Top two teams go head to head. Bendigo Spirit went to Townsville, took the 73-61 victory. Well done there. Perth Lynx of hosting the Adelaide Lightning 93-75 win. Well done to Perth Lynx over LA Lightning. We come to Southside, Melbourne Flyers hosting the Geelong Finkins. 94-52, big winners for Southside. Melbourne Flyers. We have the UCC Capitals hosting the Perth Lynx. Boy, that is one upset. Well done to the Caps. Well done to the Capitals. 77-74 over Perth Lynx. Big road upset. Adelaide Lightning were hosting the Townsville Fire. Well done, 69-83. Well done to Townsville Fire. And game number 7, Sydney Flames and Bendigo Spirit. Sydney Flames, well done to 89-78 victory. With the final game here for this round 12 will be shared in the next episode between Townsville Fire and Geelong Vingans. Well, we made it to round 13 previews, and here we go. Geelong Vingans hosting Townsville Fire. I'm going for Townsville with that. Game number 2, Bendigo Spirit, Southside Melbourne Flyers. Going for Southside Melbourne Flyers with the win. Next game is Sydney Flames hosting UC Capitals. I'm going with Sydney Flames. Perth Lynx and LA Lightning. Perth Lynx with the win. I'm going for Southside Melbourne Flyers are hosting Townsville Fire. Townsville Fire was the win. And they end up with Adelaide Lightning, Sydney Flames. I think Adelaide struggled against Perth in Perth. And the LA Lightning was the win. This game will be shared in the next episode like the last one. We will share the WNBL ladder as well very soon. So stay tuned. How are we going after the 12th round? All right, it's time to share with the National Basketball League, which is the National Basketball League of the NBL. Where we go, simple as that, the same as the WNBL into the NBL. This is the men's competition. We have the round 15 results. We booked in the round 16 previews. We have 6 rounds to go. We'll share the ladder as well for the NBL, besides as well sharing the WNBL. Okie dokie. So we share the results on your screen. So if you can see, that is very bonusly on my end. So thank you so much. I do apologize. Not reading great small handwriting on your screen. So with round 15 on our hands here today. Wow, what a season we had so far. So the Eel Hawks and hosting the Townsville Jack Jumpers. Final score, well done to the Eel Hawks, 92-90. That's the beauty of that. And the second, New Year's Eve. We are New Year's Eve basketball there. We're heading to the north of Queensland. The Cairns Taipans hosting the Eastern Melbourne Phoenix. Well done to the Melbourne Phoenix, that's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 111 to 96. Next game is, and this is the big one, Brisbane Bullets hosting the Perth Rockets. Well done to 95-75 to the Perth Rockets. The game of the round in my thoughts. Well done to LA 36ers. They were hosting the Sydney Cairns. Final score 85-79. Next game we have the Hawks hosting the Cairns Taipans. And the final score there was 96-78. Well done to the Hawks with the win. Next one we're heading to the Tasmanians, my Stank Bank Arena. We had Tasmanian Jack Jumpers hosting Melbourne United. Well done to Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, taking us 84-75 over Melbourne United. Sunday Hoops in New Zealand at Spank Arena. We have 91-99. Well done to Perth Wildcats on the road. They were, New Zealand Breakers were hosting that game over in, Perth Wildcats. And the final game for round 15, Brisbane Bullets, good effort, but they were hosting the top place. LA 36ers, final score 86-97. There you have it. All right, one more. We had Monday hoops. Sydney Canes hosting the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and that final score went to the Southeastern Melbourne Phoenix with the win, 124-117. Well done to the mighty Phoenix with the win. Okay, we're bouncing into round 16 with 6 rounds. Where's the season gone? Well, on your screen there you go. Let's drive into Melbourne United and hosting the Cairns Taipans. Melbourne United to win that game. Next game was the South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix. We're hosting the All Hawks. Well, I'm going with the South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix with the win. New Zealand Breakers hosting the Sydney Kings, where Spank Arena and Sydney Kings was the win there. We're going to the Entertainment Centre for the second doubleheader. LA 36ers hosting the Tasmanian Jumpers. LA 36ers with the win. Cairns Taipans hosting Brisbane Bullets. Brisbane Bullets was the win there. South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix hosting the Perth Wildcats. Perth Wildcats upsetting those Phoenix, with the Hawks hosting the New Zealand Breakers. What a game that'll be for the first out of double Sunday hoops. The Hawks was the win at Win Entertainment Centre, and the finish up in Sydney at the Croona Bank Arena. Sydney Cairns and the Melbourne United, and Sydney Cairns with the win. What do you think? Comments down below. And yeah, hopefully you also enjoyed this competition. Such a great league. The moment we've been waiting for the women's and the national men's ladder. So we'll be sharing all the ladders of the women's National Basketball League and the National Basketball League ladders. So we'll be starting with the Women's National Basketball League. So here on your screen we have Geelong Vingans, LA United Lightning, Sydney Flames. We come into that top 5, top 4. Here we go. UCC Capitals, Southside Melbourne Flyers, Perth Lynx, Townsville Fire, and in top place after round 12, we have Bendigo Spirits. And okay, the men's, we're just driving to it. Now we got the National Basketball League ladder after round 15 with 6 rounds to go. I'm going to break it down. So here is the top 3. Well, I'm just going to break it down right here on your screen. We have Cairns Taipans, Brisbane Bullets, that are both Queensland teams, just climbing to that bottom part of the ladder. We have New Zealand Breakers, Eel Hawks, so they are risky. They must keep winning for the next 6 games. When we come to the top 6, we have Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, Perth Wildcats. We come to the top 4 with Sydney Kings, Melbourne United. They have slipped so much confidence out with South East Melbourne Phoenix and Adelaide 36ers. I'm pretty happy with that at the moment, but I'm not, could Adelaide slip? And it's this, we can't start slow. We got to start really well and stay in composed and trust each other, because that's what's going to happen. Well, comment down below, what do you think after round 15 ladder? What do you think of that as well? Time to wrap up from another mixed sports show. What do you found interesting of this episode of the mixed sports episode? Comments down below. We'd love to hear from you, or you can't comment. That's no problems. I'd love to hear from you. Contact us. Contact us at bjshow44@gmail.com. All the feedback and any topics will do my best to put on the BJ Show YouTube channel. That will help a lot. As well, go and like and subscribe, go on your screen, and see more videos like this. George All right. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now. BJ Shows out. Peace.